Good morning, sir or ma'am. I struggle with mornings quite often, and I can't say this as if I don't now. But more so, what I'm saying is, that alarm goes off in the morning, and you're just like, shit. I don't want to do this. Like I've had those nights, and I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one. You ever had those nights where you don't even want to go to sleep? You avoid going to sleep because you know if you go to sleep, that's gonna make the morning come a whole lot quicker. Which is kind of crazy to think about, but I know I can't be the only one who's done that. But I've had those mornings many times, and I've tried to be a morning person, and it's not to say that I can't be. The thing is, what I found, and I know a lot of people bitch about this, a lot of people say this is still lazy or whatever, but I find myself way more productive at the night. I find myself way more productive at night, mainly because it seems like the world, everyone else kind of calms down. Your phones, gets more quiet. It just seems like when everyone else gets to bed, that's when I can just turn up and really get into a zone, which is part of the reason why my caffeine intake used to always be pretty late. I drink caffeine early, but most of the times I can drink caffeine at 6, 7, 8 o'clock and still get to bed. Now my sleep may not be the best, but when I go to bed, I'll still fall asleep. But anyway, I've struggled being a morning person for many years, and I've told myself that I'm not one, and maybe I need to reprogram that out. But I was walking the other morning, and I started listening to Napoleon Hill. There's so many Napoleon Hill videos on YouTube, and to be honest, I didn't know that was the case. I've always heard them on channels like Grave Mind, one of my favorite channels. But anyway, I started listening to those Napoleon Hill videos, and I have been just not addicted, but I've been listening to them quite a lot. On my walks, I drive to work, drive out of work, just really put my mind into a better frame of mind. And I found them to be very insightful. But there's one video where he talked about journaling. Most people journal at night, and I don't remember the exact words, but it was basically along the lines of most people journal at night after things have already, they've already been influenced by the world. You think about that. You journal at night, you're probably gonna have some frustrations from the day. You're probably gonna have some sadness, some things just going through your mind from the day. You're talking about how the day was, but he was saying that you should shift to journaling in the morning, or at least, maybe it's not journaling, but writing in your notebook or whatever in the morning, because he's saying that you basically get to dictate how you want the day to be. You basically start the day by talking about how you want it to be. You're writing how you want the day to be. And I think there's definitely power in that, where you sit down and write how you want the day to be, and you're kind of just reinforcing that in your mind, right? You're reinforcing that into your mind, you're putting that into the universe. And I think the reinforcement part of that comes when you hit challenges during the day, things that kind of try you, especially if you're going to work, things that bug you. You'll remember some of those things you wrote. For example, you may have put, I'm gonna respond I'm gonna respond stoically, or I'm gonna respond well to BS that comes up during the day. Some shit happens. What do? You remember what you wrote in that notebook, and you keep things kind of calm. So I think that was a good thing to do, and I want to start giving it a shot, because I've never set a set time to journal. My journaling is not like I'm gonna do this one day and then the next day, 10 o'clock I'm gonna do it again. My journaling has always just been case by case. When I felt something I wanted to write about, or many times I've just picked up my notebook and started writing. Since about 2010, 2011, I've been consistently journaling, and they've mostly been in Black Notebook. So I've called them my Black Notebook series. But I do want to share that. I do want to share some of the insight of how I, how I felt over time. I used to think that maybe these notebooks would be something that my children would read one day, and they, you know, they're going through something, they'd be like, oh, Pops went through the same thing, because, you know, what he wrote in this book relates to what I'm going through right now. And maybe that will be the case, but I've always wanted to share, not always, but I've definitely wanted to share these things, because this is like 15 years of writing that, you know, when I wasn't even in my 20s yet, that I was doing. And I think there's, you know, maybe some beneficial insight in them. Anyway, try that out. Maybe start your day journaling how you want it to go. Start your day positive. Start your day saying, you know, this is another sort of mindset. I can't think of what it's called. I think it's like one of the philosophical sayings or something. But they say to start the day thinking of things that can go wrong, and then as the day goes on, you'll be more prepared for what does go wrong. So, you know, I've already seen this happening. I've already seen this coming. Now, I don't want to say problem, and I do that, but the only sort of negative part of that is you're envisioning something negative before it even happens. Now, you just got to be careful with it. Try it out, see if it works for you. But the main thing, you know, again, for you people that are not morning folks out there, try not to start the day. At least try not to start the day, you know, being bickering and griping. And I'll try my best to do the same. Anyways, talk to you guys later.